Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Elon Musk has a fortune of $212 billion.
Not enough to afford Twitter.
Not yet.
I think that he's trying to make a move, and they are trying to say, no, get out of here.
I do love. I saw on his Twitter, he tweeted something like, "I will put an edit function on there," but I think he said something like, "You only have like 5 minutes to make the edit," which I think I'm pretty sure that's what he wrote, or someone suggested that, which I was like, that's brilliant, because if you put an edit function on Twitter, people are going to just take advantage of that. Like, they'll put up something like really wholesome and then get all these retweets and likes and then change it later on and be like, "I hate puppies." And you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like that or retweet that.
Totally.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, Elon, in the midst of trying to get Twitter, also shared something, another thing very interesting about himself. Even though he's got all that money, $212 billion, he does not own a home.
For sure, it would be very problematic if I was consuming billions of dollars a year in personal consumption. But that is not the case. In fact, I don't even own a home right now. I'm literally staying at friends' places. If I travel to the Bay Area, where most of Tesla engineering is, I stay I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms. I don't have a yacht. I really don't take vacations. So it's not as though there's that my personal consumption is high. I mean, the one exception is a plane, but if I don't use the plane, then I have less hours to work.
Yeah, see, he's just like the rest of us, man.
So he's a billionaire and a freeloader.
And a mooch, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like how he's like, I just stay at my friend's spare bedrooms. We do realize that Elon's name, he's probably hanging out with a lot of rich as F friends. So like their spare bedroom is probably still like a mansion. You know what I mean? Like they have like a mother-in-law. You can stay in the mother-in-law, which is like, 15 bedrooms, 7,000 square feet. Poor Levi. I mean, why do I keep saying Levi?
Call him Levi.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's Elon, but yeah.
Elon, Levi.
Yeah, very close.
Same person.
Yeah.
That's his alter ego.
Boy, does that come off as disingenuous, whether he means it to or not. Just the way he speaks, and the idea being, I don't spend that much money. Well, then if you don't, what do you do with it? If you're not spending it, what the hell are you doing with it?
Well, yeah, so you get he has to have a plane, BJ.
Yeah, and I know the plane thing is really good. Cracks me up too. Yeah, it's just like, you know what? Nice try, Elon. Okay, and what about your wife? You have a wife and children. Where do they stay? If you don't own a home, where do they go?
I never said they don't own a home. Maybe numbers XYZ47 owns a house.
I know. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right, Steve. They own the home. Does he think we're stupid? Maybe he really, sometimes people who are just super arrogant really just assume that everybody else is dumb.
Hey, man,
he's a smart guy, but he thinks, what, is that dumb?
Some people just don't want to do home repairs. I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I rent.
He's just renting.
Yeah, I don't want to improve my house.
Well,
I don't want to need that headache.
Elon Musk.
He didn't say he rents, though. He didn't say that either, Denny. I was expecting him to say that he rented because my wife and I often look at these places that are $10,000, $20,000 a month, and we're like, who is renting these places?
Elon.
You look it up and you look for places to stay, and you go, all right. I mean, my budget is who does? But he's not renting. He says he just stays at other people's houses. He could have said he rented.
He probably just owns an island and then just has built like a giant, island home.
So I guess, I don't own the home. I own the island,
right.
And
I own everything around it. Yeah.
And I rent the home out to me.
Someone says he doesn't own the house, so he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Oh, that's probably true.
Okay,
as well.
Hold on a second. That's dumb. Okay, I mean
property tax seems to be the least of his concerns.
Yeah, that's not a good reason to not own a home. I mean, at $212 billion, do you care about whatever the property taxes are going to be on a house that will go up in value Russell Wilson style?
Maybe that's his thing. Like Rev, he boycotted Wordle for a while. Maybe this is Elon's thing. He's just like, I am paying taxes for no reason. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm not buying a house. I'll buy a plane, but I ain't buying a house.
I mean, if you're not paying property taxes, then you're paying rent. What else are you doing? It's one of the two things in life. Or you're couch surfing. Which, by the way, all of those people are probably like spending badly and leaving a big carbon footprint. I don't know what he's trying to prove with that whole statement. I don't know
that he's weird, because isn't that his old thing? Like one texter says, isn't he admits him trying to be like he's like an alien or something like that?
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Maybe he just lives in a spaceship or something.
Yeah.
Would you let him stay over? Like if he said, "Hey, BJ, it's me, Elon Musk. Can I crash at your place?"
Oh, I would charge him. Yeah,
he's got to order pizza at least.
Oh, I would say you got to bring me a Tesla that you do not leave with, and a flamethrower.
There we go. And a flamethrower.
Oh, remember they're called not a flamethrower.
Right.
Yeah,
look, I'm not taking advantage of his financial situation. I'm not asking for a free flight to space. Just give me a Tesla. It could be a used one.
Look, Steve, I don't know how to break your heart.
Slightly used.
Like Danny said, he's not stopping by your house or my house to crash.
We have a house that hasn't sold yet in our development. He could buy that one.
Oh, nice.
He doesn't buy a home. He's not going to buy a house. He's not a homeowner. You're ruining his entire plan here.
He's such a weird dude. Like he is.
Yeah.
I will say this forever. He's the makings of a supervillain.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I every once in a while I listen to this podcast called the All In Podcast, and one of the dudes on there says that he's really good friends with Elon, claims to have written the material for him on Saturday Night Live when he made his appearance, and does say often a lot that he's misunderstood, probably because he's on the spectrum a bit, and therefore comes off the way he does. But man, I mean, I wonder if anybody talked to him and said, what are you accomplishing with this whole? It makes me want to listen to their podcast and see if they have a comment about that in the next podcast to see, hey, Jimmy, does he really not have a home? Or does he really couch surf? Okay.
No, I don't think he couch surfs. I do believe him when he says that he doesn't own a home. I mean, why would you say that? There's no reason. It doesn't change it. It's not like all of a sudden I'm going to buy stock in Elon Musk, because he doesn't own a house.
Yeah, but
there's no winning in him saying that.
What's the point of that? What's the point? But I'm going to say, why would you say that?
Everyone's got their thing. That's just his thing. Like he's like, we don't need a house, and he said like, I don't need a place. I don't know.
I think it's like, I'm a rich guy, but I don't like buy things. That's what it's like. That kind of
except
flex.
for planes.
Yeah, and
I still love that.
I would bet a lot of money that his wife is either A, they're renting a ridiculous place, or B, she owns the house. Which then, what kind of flex is that?
What if I'm
not liking him anymore. I'm done with him.
What if he owns a hotel and he just stays in the penthouse suite?
Well, that's true. He never said he didn't own a hotel. You're right, Steve. And there's no reason why he couldn't own one.
I like how we all just assume that he's the type of guy who would rules lawyer just because of the simple fact that, it's Elon. He's a billionaire.
Right.
Why wouldn't he do something like that?
Because a handful of schmucks in Seattle on the radio are questioning his integrity.
Rev,
right?
All of the smart people and a lot of them are gamers, including myself. Those are and they are
smart people. I like how you lumped yourself in the smart people that Rev knows.
Yeah, that's right. He's a rules lawyer, no doubt about it. I bet 100% that Elon's a rules lawyer.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Yeah.
I would buy so many houses if I had his money.
We know that.
So
we know you would. Yeah.
All the houses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that is like my lotto winning plan. It's like I'm going to have condos in every single city that I want to go to. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're not going to go for the full house. You're going to go for condos.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to deal with the yard or anything.
Yeah, and then you can hire help to clean them because they're smaller. You don't need like a full on house. I get it.
And then you give them back to the community.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
I ain't doing that.
I was just picturing you guys getting like a big piece of land and building multiple houses and making all your friends move in.
100%.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And everyone gets a golf cart so you can travel between houses.
I kind of want to keep my friends separate on that sort of thing. So as long as I've got a moat around my house, then they can all have their own little...
Will you have alligators in the water?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay, so make sure you're keeping it true.
Rev, you understand, though, it's really difficult to put a moat around a condo.
I'm going to try.
Because they're still on the other side of the wall. It's not like, you're not separate. They'll just...
I'm going to invent the condo moat. Okay. I'm going to make another $1 billion after I've won my lotto money, and then that's where I'll be set.
Did I say the Rev had smart friends? I'd like to take that back.
No, I already knew he didn't when you listed yourself as one of his friends.
Oh, really? Oh. Well, all right then.
I would definitely, my main place of living would have all my friends living in the same development, of course. But then I would have a house in Hawaii, just so I could just go there whenever the hell I want, you know. And,
look at you. Okay, let's see. Now, at least you're going for the home. Danny and Trevor only wanted condos.
Oh, no, mine's full-on house, man.
Oh, you want a full-on house. Okay.
Yeah, I want a driveway and everything. Cars inside that.
Oh, you want a driveway?
Garage.
Well, hold on a second. How big of a lottery winnings do you think you're going to have if you want a driveway to go with that house?
It's clearly a big one if I could buy an entire development for me and my friends.
I find, now, is it a particular kind of driveway? I've never heard of anybody saying, I want a house. You know what I want? I want a house with a driveway. Okay, big spender, you got it.
Yeah.
What kind of, is it like a cool driveway? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like one of those cool ones where cars drive up into a garage from them.
Oh, a driveway.
Yes. Heated,
I thought you meant like one of those huge I thought you meant a huge circular driveway, like one of the fancy driveways that,
I'm a modest man, clearly.
Oh, really?
Clearly.
Yeah. When you hit the lottery, you're going to be a very modest man. All right, so you want a house in Hawaii that has a driveway that leads into a garage. I'm sorry, that's asking a lot. You're going to have,
I hear they make houses like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to make that happen.
Of course, a great view of the water.
Yeah, you need that.
You should be the guy that goes, no, I want the house in Hawaii that doesn't have a great view of the water. Yeah, you take that place, please. That's what I'm looking for. Why'd you come to Hawaii then, sir? I don't want any ocean views or palm tree views. Can you help me out?
Right, I just want a view of a wall.
Yeah, that's all I want. Well, congratulations.
Wouldn't you have a house in Hawaii?
Wouldn't I?
If you had all the money.
Oh, yeah, if I had all the money, sure. Yeah, I would get a house in Hawaii. Hawaii is awesome.
That would be your vacation getaway, right?
Yeah, it would be. But, right. But the travel time is a bit, obviously I'd be retired. If I was retired, then I could travel whenever I want. But what I found in my life, because I haven't been to Hawaii in over 11, 12 years now, I think, is that it's just a long time. 6 hours is a long flight.
Well, if you're on, he probably has like a transporter thing, like a teleporter.
At this point in time, probably, yeah.
Or he just like puts the plane in high gear. I mean, I'm sure you could trim a couple hours if you drive
faster. He's got the SpaceX, right? He probably just takes a rocket there.
Spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, those are quicker, aren't they?
Yeah, if the spaceship we get to space in 6 minutes, you could get to Hawaii in probably like 3.
I'm sure it's all completely safe.
Good point,
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Or hell, make a quick pit stop in space and land in Hawaii.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
BJ's dream vacation.
Yeah,
you're still getting there in under 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all for that. Plus, I get to go to space. Danny's right. I mean, that's my life right there.
What a ridiculous commute all the time. If you're like, I got to go to Hawaii. I got to stop in Mars first, though, in order to kill some time.
I have to stop at Mars
first. Lay over in Mars.
I was going to just stop at the International Space Station, Steve, but I think Mars is going to be a little bit of a longer way to... I'm glad you know your astronomy to know that, yeah, it's a quick trip. Really? If you go by Mars, it's quicker to get to Hawaii than just going to Hawaii. Is it?
Quick detour at Mars. Don't worry, guys. We'll still get there quicker than if you took a regular plane.
But what if you go around Saturn, though? I hear the rings really get... Oh, yes, that will go around Saturn. We'll do that.
Yeah, if the wind's really bad, then maybe you have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, the solar winds. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well... Rev, how many smart friends do you have?
It's shrinking by the minute.
It's going into the negatives now.
Yeah, it surely is. All righty. Well, we have a big question. Why would someone spend over $200,000 for an axe? Well, I'm going to tell you why. At 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. The axe that Jack Nicholson used in The Shining has gone to auction. And has everybody on the show seen The Shining, at least know what it is?
I know what it is, never seen it.
Oh, see,
I've never seen it? Wow.
I don't know why, but I feel like this is a movie right up Danny's alley.
Yeah.
I agree. And because it's scary, right? It's like
suspenseful.
Okay.
It's not like kind of scary. It's more like kind of scary.
Yeah, I'm surprised I've never actually sat down to watch it, but I haven't. You broke Rev.
Steve, just the different. I love your different types of scaries.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had someone that didn't understand the English language, I think I could explain to them why it was scary and in what way. As opposed.
You would? Oh, so you feel like, okay, well, you can go travel anywhere then?
Yes.
Yeah. and talk about scary movies, and people go, "Oh, I know this American. I know what he's talking about."
At least with The Shining, I think I can't get much further than that. But that's one of my. It's one of my favorite movies. I think that's such a great film.
Yeah, but dude, it's been so long ago, and I don't know if it holds up. Like if Danny watched it, I don't know if he would like it. It's hard to say.
Slow. Yeah, it's more of a psychological thriller in a sense, don't you think?
And I don't mind slow movies. I mean, you could argue that the Batman is kind of a slow movie in itself. That has a lot of action in it, but there's also a lot of slow parts. But I don't know if The Shining is even slower than that. It's hard to say. But the axe from the movie is indeed something that somebody wants. It sold for over $200,000 at auction 3 years ago, and it's up for auction again.
What the hell happened with the person that bought it in the first place? I guess they want to make more money.
Yeah, that's total investment.
Or maybe it's kind of creepy to have an axe in your house.
Or the new wife, girlfriend, or whoever's like, that axe it's either me or the axe.
Me or the axe.
Yeah, because the storyline is not good for the spouse. Right. And that axe was a very scary, scary moment for the spouse as Jack in the movie broke down the apartment door and then the bathroom door in pursuit of the character's son Danny and wife Wendy. So
here's Johnny.
Yep, exactly. That's the big "here's Johnny" moment in the movie.
Which I don't even know if Danny and Vicky know what that means.
Why do we even ask them these questions? They only make us feel older, BJ. Yeah. I mean, ask questions you don't want answers to.
Yeah. It is so ingrained into pop culture, though, that it's in everything. Like Bob's Burgers made a reference to it. It was in a not My Chemical Romance, 30 Seconds to Mars music video. They filmed it in that same hotel and everything.
Cool.
No,
so
yeah,
it's
but
everywhere. I know. It's like the face squash.
No, you don't understand what we're saying.
Oh, is that Johnny Carson?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. And we know that the Shining "Here's Johnny" moment's iconic, but do you know why "Here's Johnny" was said?
Because of Johnny Carson.
Yeah, and Danny, did you know that?
Sure. No, I didn't.
There we go. Danny doesn't
It's
care.
everywhere. I feel like, how do you not know all these different references?
Well, Danny didn't, so what you're saying is Danny's dumb. Okay, I was about to say. I was going to say dumb, but you went with idiot. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
okay.
Get to the root of the whole thing.
Well, Danny wasn't there for the roast, so we got to roast him.
That's fine.
That's
okay, fair enough. Yeah. So there you go. $200,000 and you can own the axe that Danny doesn't care about.
Yeah.
Or maybe more. Probably more money, actually.
The Red Rum Girls. Red Rum.
They were freaky, no doubt about it. But I just feel like, what the movie was in the late 70s?
1980, I believe.
Yeah, it was around 80.
Yeah, either way.
1980, actually, yep.
Wow, good call. Damn.
Yeah, so dude, that was 40 years ago, over 40 years ago.
No, I wish I could disagree with you. I do think that we've been so desensitized with horror films now, especially Danny's probably. I'm not a big horror film person, so it doesn't really impact me in my how I would react to a horror film these days. But I think if you watch The Shining and you've seen all these the paranormal ones and all the other ones, I don't know if this one really would do much for you.
Well, it's funny you say that too, because I feel like I've watched a lot of the old, I watched the new versions first, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched the one with Jessica Biel in 2005 or whatever, and then I went back because I became a fan of horror movies, but then I wanted to watch the original 1972 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And it still worked?
No.
Okay,
I hated it.
Yeah.
And that's where it's kind of I try to go back and watch a lot of the originals, and it's just this does nothing for me.
A lot of the times when you watch something like that, it's more about the anticipation. You don't necessarily see any on-screen gruesomeness. It's all about what you envision in your own brain is actually happening. And that was big with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But there are some good visuals out of The Shining. The old lady in the bathtub, or just the wall of blood coming out of the elevator.
Said the Gen Xer to the millennial, and the millennial's eyes glazing over, going, "You're not going to convince me that it's
got
good."
its moments. I feel that you can still watch it, but I mean,
said the Gen Xer to the baby boomer who said these things to millennials and was trying to educate the Gen Xer. They're never going to like these movies.
This Gen Xer feels that it's not working.
I'm going to try, damn it.
No, there's nothing.
I think us describing, talking about how awesome it is about as far as it can go.
All right. I don't like horror movies, but I would watch it mostly to play a drinking game. How many of these scenes do I recognize from popular GIFs?
Okay, this is not what the movie is about.
It's 100% what the movie is meant to be.
I already know all the things that are happening, the references, because it's been around for so long and everyone always makes fun of it. So I'm spoiled. They already spoiled it for me.
Well, this is the problem, Vicky. You are just consuming it in an attention deficit disorder consumption pattern, which of course for people like us who like to sit and watch the full thing, you're like, oh, I already got whatever. I watched all the memes. What do I need?
Well, the memes and every other reference, like they had a whole thing in Bob's Burgers, like a whole episode where Bob goes crazy in the first season.
The fact that you're taking one of the greatest horror movies of my time and going, oh, but Bob's Burgers did a thing on it, so I'm good.
They did a thing on it, so I know what happened. So it's not as exciting for me. Yeah.
You're
it's
just
like
on Bob's
finding
Burgers.
It's like finding out what really happens at the end of Star Wars, like who's daddy.
God.
It's ruined for me. I'm not going to get that same excitement like you did when you watched it.
It's like if somebody just dropped you in a helicopter to Machu Picchu rather than letting you just walk to the destination. You're like, it's a journey, Vicky, not the destination. It's the journey.
But the journey's been ruined.
My wife keeps saying, I want to see the Grand Canyon. I'm like, I've seen pictures, so we're good.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay, no, it's not the same thing, both of you.
I looked at the pictures when I was outside. It's just the same vibe.
You got that fresh breeze in your air.
I hear it's one of those overrated places to go.
Yeah,
oh my God, you guys are high. It is so not overrated. It is.
I didn't say it was overrated. I saw the pictures. It was cool.
Okay, you are trolling me. Vicky is not. So I will continue the conversation without Steve.
I know Steve's trolling you at this point.
Has anybody besides me been to the Grand Canyon?
No.
It is massive, and it's one of those moments where you feel small as a human being because you're looking at this going, like whenever, when you try to take a picture of anything on your iPhone and then you see the picture and it just does not do it justice. Right. There's no way not being at the Grand Canyon does it justice. There's nothing you can see. There's not a big enough screen, TV, or a movie theater to really duplicate being at the Grand Canyon or any of the wonders of the world, I suppose.
I feel like I go and I'd be like, well, I guess I've seen it now. And then I just go back to the car.
Well, then like a scene from Vacation. You look at it for a few seconds. You're like, all right, it's time to go.
Babe, you hungry? We should go hit that Grand Canyon restaurant. I hear that's good.
I mean, you guys aren't the go see the national parks kind of people.
We're
not at all.
We're not the walking poles kind of people. Like, you're outside.
Wow. Okay, then. Well,
I didn't mean that as an insult. I meant that you like to walk around and with your poles.
I feel like everything you say to me is an insult.
That's a you thing.
Yeah, that's a you thing on that.
Oh, no,
you got to work on that.
That is a credibility issue. That's what that is,
I'm just saying you like to do outdoorsy things with your poles out. And
well, yes, and I also have hiking poles as well. There's many things in that. But Steve, all of a sudden it was against me. When in reality, you're trying to tell Vicky what a great movie The Shining is. It's that you'll never be able to convince Vicky's generation that anything we like is good.
Yeah, I guarantee they would not enjoy it. As much as I would like for them to, I think it's just past its prime. Like
Rev's still fighting. He's dying.
I'm going to tell you to watch it.
If all the other movies never existed, I think, because when I was watching it, it wasn't 1980, but it was in college. And at that point, I hadn't watched a lot of horror films. And I remember just sitting there just being like, I'm freaked out. But if I've seen like The Ring and I'm not good at horror films. I don't know many.
You've got Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those are suspenseful too. The Ring and so, those are good because not only do they have some horror in there, but there is that sort of suspense like The Shining brought.
Yeah, I bet like if you watch the original Saw nowadays, and people are like, whatever. You know what I mean?
That's I don't know. You may be right. How old is Saw? Is Saw 20 years old?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, see, 20 years old is different than 40 years old, though.
Oh, I don't disagree. Yes, but I also think though we've been desensitized with horror films that even now Saw wouldn't even be all that.
And I mean, The Shining is a slow run movie. It's like one of those things where if it was like Vicky or Danny watching it, I'm like, seriously, I'm taking your phones. I'm locking up your phones. You need to watch it.
Boy, okay, Grandpa.
This sounds good luck to you. This sounds like the start of a horror movie.
Well, and that's, we're going to go out to a cabin in the woods. We're going to sit there during the entire winter. You're going to experience what it felt like to be in The Shining. And then you can watch The Shining with some damn appreciation.
Let me know when the remake comes out.
Oh, I hate you.
Did they do an origin story or a post?
It was a sequel.
A sequel.
It was a sequel called Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Was it anybody see? Is that any good?
A couple of texters said it was pretty good.
Yeah, some said it was good.
All right. I know. I don't have any desire to watch it. That's my problem.
Speaking of the texter, someone said, hey, BJ, the Grand Canyon is amazing. BJ is 1,000% correct from Belladonna. Next person, been to the Grand Canyon. It's a big hole. Looked at it for 5 minutes. What's good?
Yeah,
you've got after 5 minutes.
What can I tell you? I mean, there are people, I guess, that just aren't affected by like whatever those kind of things in nature. And I can understand that. So that's why I wouldn't recommend anybody like named Vicky or Steve to go to it.
So instead, I see the Grand Canyon through my Oculus. I'm good.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, VR's almost like real R.
Yeah.
Right?
I wouldn't mind trying though. That would be cool to see how it would have an effect. Like through the Oculus, I would like to see that, to see if it somehow would be close. Because that might be the closest thing to making me feel like I was there rather than a picture or a big screen. I'd try that.
So instead, BJ's wrong. It is way overrated. I once drove over 4 hours to see it, then I had to drive 4 hours back to Vegas.
Oh. Well, the problem is
I would only
Vegas.
I would only stop there if it was on the way to something. I wouldn't go out of my way to see the Grand Canyon. If it was
we went out of our way to see it, and it was fantastic.
How far out of your way?
Well, I mean, we made it a destination. I think we were living in Arizona at the time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, we were in Phoenix, and I don't know, maybe it's an hour and a half from Phoenix, the Grand Canyon. I can't remember, to be honest.
No, it's 4.
It's 4 hours from Phoenix?
Yeah.
We made a trip then.
We were talking about it when we were when I was in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, and my uncle was like, "We got to take Lily to the Grand Canyon. It's like 4 hours away," and I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, we did that with our kids. We actually did do that.
Sorry,
and the
Joe.
kids probably thought it was boring. Yeah, I don't even know if they're. Does Joe remember? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Does he remember the Grand Canyon?
Thumbs down.
Doesn't remember.
So it wasn't even worth the trip for him.
Well, luckily we weren't doing it for him.
That's a good point.
Yeah, right. You're just going on for the ride, kid.
He's just there.
Those moments where we just drag him along and fill him with candy and hope that's good.
Yeah, I feel like more than 30 minutes out of the way, I don't think I would go see the Grand Canyon.
30 minutes, huh?
Because that's around that adds up to be an hour.
I get you.
Longer.
Yeah.
I would go again. If somebody told me, hey, we get to, I would go again because I just remember it being such a powerful moment for me. Like, it was amazing to me.
See, on that same note, I would go back to Yellowstone for the same reasons that you're stating, just because it was so beautiful and so amazing to go to see. But
well, if you're saying that, Rev, then I think, Rev, you'd appreciate the Grand Canyon because you're a national park. Like, you got the park's bite. You get the bug when you go. When I went to the Grand Tetons, I was like, I want to see every national park we have.
I saw the Grand Tetons in Oregon when I had a steak. And
I knew that was coming.
I wish I could call you a loser, but in fact, the person who named the Grand Tetons named them because he thought they looked like boobies. So that is exactly why those mountains are called the Grand Tetons. So, yeah. So that was, I hate to say it, but that's the Steve Miggs, who was on the Lewis and Clark Trail or whatever the hell, that went out there to the Tetons and said, hey, we're going to call them the Tetons, get it?
Someone says, how about the Hoover Dam? Pretty overrated.
It's a dam.
Yeah, but it's the big one.
But you got to make all the jokes. Be like,
beavers.
We got to take all the dam pictures.
Oh, I'm with.
Yeah, those guys. No, I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with. It's like I'm with them. Niagara Falls, on the other hand, is amazing. See, that's to me. If you're going to go see like a big thing of water, you got to go see the natural thing. Which, of course, and I bet people are going to go, yeah, I went to Niagara Falls, it wasn't good.
That's one I wouldn't mind going to check out. But
why is that? What's the difference between like a bunch of water going into a hole and a bunch of holes with no water?
I like water. I like water parks and I like pools and I just enjoy being around water. And Aquaman's my favorite superhero. I mean, it's the thing.
Steve, you've never been to Niagara Falls?
No.
You lived in New York.
Yeah, but dude, it's not close. It's
no, not at all.
Well, you just can't just like hop, skip, and jump right over
6 hours.
Oh,
dude, yeah,
okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who's never been to New York. Okay.
No, I know. Even when I was into Plattsburgh, I'm like, oh, I'll be close to Buffalo. And you're not close to Buffalo. It's several hours from there even.
Wow, okay.
And honestly, I don't even want to go from the Buffalo end. I want to go to Toronto so I could go do other things and then end up seeing the Niagara Falls as well.
Yeah, I believe they do say the Canadian side's better, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, as we learned this morning, Canadians are just better at everything, including dong size.
Yeah, well, there we go. We knew we'd come back to that.
Because they got the falls.
It's
it's the water thing.
That's what
it's the Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. I wonder next if they're going to measure women. They measured like who's got the biggest unit for men. Are they going to measure women, or is it just going to be is it just going to be us guys?
You might be the only person that's wondering that. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just saying. What I mean? I'm all about equality. If you're going to measure the guys, measure the ladies, right?
In what way though? With a tape measure?
Well, I'm not sure what device you could use.
At first, I thought you meant like just bra size.
I'm not even sure. I don't know if
I was hoping it was bra size.
Isn't that what it is? I mean, like the average like the C cup or D cup. Where were you going, Steve?
I was keeping in that area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Well, you're right. Well, they had plenty of ways to measure that area. I mean, that's why when you go, how would they measure it? I mean, like the way they've been measuring it for years at the bra store.
No, I'm talking about the downstairs area.
Oh, you were going downtown?
Yeah, downtown.
Oh, well, the only way you measure that, usually want it then you're going to go for small because everybody likes, isn't that the thing? Nobody wants to have like the Grand Canyon down there. So usually,
at least it came back to the Grand Canyon.
So I'm more of like a Hoover Dam kind of guy personally, but
Well, smaller is usually better for women in that area, whereas longer is better for men in that area.
Yes.
Even though I wasn't talking about that, I was.
No, that's why we were confused.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations. All right, well, go to the Grand Canyon, everybody.
Overrated.
Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
The Guardians are a professional baseball team from what city?
Cleveland.
Yes. Cleveland.
Yes. All right.
Go Guardians.
Yeah. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.